most of our members struggle to meet their health care. And on the media, they say, oh, you're in Beverly Hills with your mansion. Like, no, they're not. These are real people that have to have second and third jobs where they used to be able to have a career. I think in the last few days of the negotiation, there was a little bit of a sinking feeling. We did an extension for 12 days. And that it was at some cost. People thought, why are you doing an extension? We know, when someone tells you who they are, believe them the first time. And we're like, we are going to behave responsibly. We're going to it's a big package of proposals. We want to make sure that we can fully explore each one. But there was this sinking feeling that they're trying to run out the clock, that they've got these big tentpole movies that they're putting on in the summer. And if they can eke out another weekend, then those shows will get opened. And they, and maybe they were expecting that there was going to be a strike. We were not expecting that there was going to be a strike. We were prepared, we were ready, but when we would see we'd say to each other, well, when they come back, what do you think? Do you think it's going to be something good? And we're like, well, maybe they waited to the end to make a real move in our direction. Maybe they did it. Maybe they're going to come up with something and force us to really engage in a way that's hard for us. They came back with virtually nothing. And so it was like, and they were disrespectful. And, we're volunteers and we sat around for 4 weeks, and it's really just basic human courtesy that was a little missing. And so we went over there at the end. Our national executive director, Duncan Crabtree Ireland, looked and said, listen, we want to keep talking. We want to keep negotiating. But we've reached the end of the contract, and you haven't seriously engaged us in the conversations that and we know that we've told you are the most important to us. And they made some quips, and we just stood up and walked out. It's like, and then the coolest thing is the board votes for a strike yesterday unanimously. If anybody knows anything about SAG-AFTRA, because it's a member-run union, there's been a lot of infighting over the last couple decades. That is gone. We are in lockstep. We are as unified as the union has ever been. And that is a testament of how serious the issues are and how narrowly you can interpret them. It is what it is, and we need what we need. So to see and hear that kind of support, the thousands of people who came out today to the different studios, and to watch on social media actors from all over the world when you're advocating for people, you're saying what they need, but they're not there. For them to start talking and explain the needs that we are serving by representing them the way that we are. You had black and white and then color pictures. You had talkies, you had silent film and then talkies. You had the advent of videotape. You had television. This is a new epoch. This streaming world where, large scale studios and networks and streaming companies are making entertainment, and the way it's being provided and paid for, it's new. And our union has, for contract after contract, basically taken the position of, we understand you're building a new business, so we'll work for less. This business is built. These people are making tons of money. There is no reason for them not to reflect that in the way our compensation and our contracts are designed. So it's important because actors are having a harder and harder time making a living, having a career, paying for their kids, preparing for their pension and their health, just qualifying for healthcare, $26,000 a year. Most of our members struggle to meet their healthcare. And on the media, they say, oh, you're in Beverly Hills with your mansion. Like, no, they're not. These are real people that have to have second and third jobs where they used to be able to have a career. We spent most of our lives looking for the next gig and auditioning and competing for work. And now we're just getting squeezed. So it's important because our people are hurting. and they need help, and so we're here to help. What needs to happen with AI is, at a very fundamental level, the producers need to realize that it's expansive and it's an existential threat to the way we make a living. If they can start the conversation from that point, as opposed to like, well, maybe your likeness on this one point, or maybe your one little thing on this point. We're like, no, we brought you a really beautiful, well-considered, developed proposal, and they just scooted it aside. So, AI isn't going anywhere, and we're not going anywhere, and everybody wants us to get back to work, so the producers need to call us in and have a real conversation.